Hi everyone, Paul Morbid here, Morbid Team Entertainment. We're going to go through this 8mm viewer editor. I use these as it's far more easier and enjoyable for me to make movies on film rather than a computer. But at any rate, let's see what's inside, if you've never seen inside of one of these before, and clean it up. Okay, I'm going to remove the base plate and show you what's inside. And there we are. Okay, so inside, you see what's going on here. More wires. You have a mirror here that needs to be cleaned. Right there. That's got to be removed. There you are. Really a situation for some of the gears and the bulb. In addition, these 1, 2 are mirrors that need to be cleaned as well. Spray some Windex on them, spray some Windex on a cloth, and then clean that up. The big mirror, you're going to have to remove it because there's no telling what's underneath. Right, such as the screen itself. You need to clean under the mirror. There's going to be bugs and stuff like that, dust, dirt, any fungus that's starting, any rust that's starting. Okay, next, remove these 2 nuts on the screws right here. I've already removed this one since it's so difficult to get to. It would just be pointless. So I'll see what I can do to unwind this here. Alright. Probably going to fall inside the unit, but no big deal. We'll get it. So will the washers. Got it. Alright. Lift it up, and there you go. So again, we got a mirror here. Gotta take care. I've seen some rust here, and a rust around the corners. Move out of the way, you. Such as, if I can ever show you. Let's see if I can also get a close-up would be best. If you look really close and you see these right here, these little hooks that they hold in the reflector. And there's one on each side. Alright. Okay, this time, this cover where the bulb is hidden under, I'm carefully taking a flathead screwdriver, mini, and I'm getting under this cover here and ever so slowly working it out. Alright, slowly. Easily. All this stuff is a bit cumbersome to get to, just to let you know. Alright. Okay, there's the under part of the cover right there. That's the under part. And there we go. Slides on out. And here is our bulb. Right there. I've been waiting on. Next I have two micro mini flathead screws. There and there. Into my pencil eraser, so I gotta get that off. Again, these things are cumbersome to work on, they really are, but you gotta take it apart to clean it up. There's gonna be rust and whatever else inside of there, dead bugs, fungus like I've got inside the monitor right there, all that type of deal. Alright, I got movement here. Okay, so here's this glass element that the bulb projects through. Shines through, rather. Okay? That's it. That's all you can see right there. Okay? So that's that piece. The bulb, in case you ever want to change the bulb, you just lift this cover up just like I showed you. Okay? Just on the ends. Easily. You can pull it up a little bit on one corner with the fingers, and then carefully use a flathead screwdriver and lift it up all the way around. Alright? So next you've got the bulb here, and what you do, there's the little line I want to show you right here. You see it? Right there. Okay, there's that little line. So what you want to do is you want to push the bulb in, turn it until you see that little pin sticking out at the end of my pencil eraser on the bulb, and then you pull it straight out. That's it. So that's how you change a bulb in one of these things. This one's blown, just old or whatever, and the information is right here. And got rust on it. 6 volts. Right there. Okay. Okay, so it's the mirror here that's my question. Another glass element up here, and then my pencil eraser. Okay. The underside of the transformer looks good, no rust. So that's a good thing. That's what I'm looking for. So I can just go ahead and put that back on a little bit later. But first, I gotta check everything up under here. This and mirror and that type of thing. Clean that up. Next is the housing around the viewer. Okay. And we've got one screw holding it in right here on the outer side at the end of my pencil eraser. And we have movement. Okay, once you have the screw removed at the end of my pencil eraser right here, just simply reach in there and remove it, of course. Okay. Okay, so now I have the front glass plate of this viewer editor Here's the back inside of it. You can see everything that holds it on there. Very simple, very basic. Turn it around, and this does have fungus on it. So if you're unsure of how much fungus it does have on it and dirt, take a look at that. All right. Okay, so now I'm just gonna remove these screws right here, and then take the glass plate and put it in the soap. All right, let's see how easy these things are to unscrew. Just come right out of here or what? Alright, got this one. Yeah, we have movement on this one, that's good. For such a basic thing. Come on, you. All that effort, and I use my fingers in the end, so. Okay, back to you. Give me a problem right here. Now you decide to turn. When you buy these vintage pieces of equipment, all of it has to be cleaned. If not, it's going to keep rusting and corroding. And then you're going to end up with a lot of different types of issues. Might seem like a lot to deal with, but when you're done, you're done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. I'll use my fingers again for this thing. Yeah, apparently so. Alright, last one. Alright, we got movement. Always good. Okay, now time to give this a bath. Okay, so I'm just going to take my fingers on the other side of it, on the underside of it, push it up, just like that, and that brings it up, as you can see, right here. Okay. Remove the cover, and there we go. That's it. See how thick that thing is, and see that the fungus and dirt is all the way around. See that? It's everywhere. So let's just take it and put it in there, right into the dishwashing liquid and water, and let it soak. Maybe about, I don't know, 20 minutes. Okay, I've got this cover for the front of the viewer. Alright. And on my cloth, which is, I found a clean part of it on the end, so I'm just going to take the soap and water and go about in it just like that. Just wash this off. Alright, so that's about it. I'll clean this. Okay, I just finished washing this editor's screen cover, and I'm just going to let this hang out to dry. Alright. Okay, here's the glass element. I'm just going to take it I'm just going to wipe this off, kind of scrub it as I go along. Alright, and then I'll check it for any types of corrosion, fungus. Okay, so what I'll have to do next in a bit, once everything dries completely, is I'll have to hold it up to the light and I'll have to check for any type of fungus, especially if there's still any more spider web like spots on it. I'll have to see if I can scrub those out further. Now if it turns out that those spider web like images will not wash out of there, being able to scrub them out of there with a light abrasive, then that means that the fungus has penetrated the glass and there's nothing that can be done except to replace this. Okay, and the fungus will continue to grow unless I put it under the UV light, and that will destroy the fungus, and that has to be each side for several hours. I do have a video on that I can post in this link. Okay, next, after everything's dried, for your prism right here, make sure it's cleaned, and I've done mine pretty well. Looks like I got some dust there, but I'll get that in a minute. It's in the upper portion. Alright, always noticing something else that needs to be cleaned constantly. I've cleaned this thing several times, but I didn't cover it, and the dust had gotten to it again. There's some in this corner. Anyway, got that, so always use one of these deals, a blower, because you don't want to blow your breath into this stuff. Your breath contains fungus. Okay, wipe it again for the hard spots. Alright then, take your prism and you want to load this in with a crescent side facing normal viewing. Okay, just take that, load it right in there. Make sure you do wear a latex glove. Put my pencil eraser or my pencil on the other side so I won't have to touch it. If you don't use a latex glove, then you're going to end up having fingerprints all over it, and you don't want that. Okay, so we got that in. Alright, so I can get my ring light out of the way, and then I'm just going to put these screws on. One's right here. Ah yes, I almost forgot to tell you, make sure you clean these two with soap and water. Alright, one thing I do want to share with you, upon getting these micro mini screws into these brass pieces right here, okay, can be difficult to do. They're not magnetized, so use a little bit of glue. Put that glue on the end of your, as you see here with my pinky, on the end of your screwdriver, and then you can apply your screwdriver onto your screw. Okay, then usually, not always, but usually you can use that to start the screw. Okay, and you don't want to get all these tightened down all at one time. You want to wait until the end, like here, and then go all the way around and tighten them. If you tighten everything at starting at first, it's going to be all uneven. Okay? Okay, now that we've got this part out of the way, cleaned and done for optimal viewing, now it's time for yet another part in the viewer. Yes, indeed. This one. More of the same, essentially. Okay, so we got screws here. 3. And let's see. Looks about like 4. And 5. Okay, so I just got to get those screws out. Okay, what I did not do was show, even in time lapse, the removal of these screws right here. It was just too cumbersome to get my screwdriver in there and, you know, do it with the camera at the same time. So essentially you have 1, 2, then you have 3. I'm going to remove my screws out of here so they won't be flying all over the place and become MIA. Just going to pull this straight forward. As you pull that straight forward, you'll pull that out. Hand on the back here, and then you have your glass element. Okay, inside the viewer you have a mirror here, and you have to get that out. And I will have to clean all that out and clean that mirror off and that type of a deal, and get that nice, there we go, in frame, and get that done. You're gonna have a little bit of rust. Rust is what you want to check for all the time. I'll even get up at the top of the screen, up to the upper left here some too. Alright. Okay, as you can see here, I've got some dirt, looks like bugs inside of there. That's common. And turn it over, and of course I've got some rust I'm going to have to deal with right here. That's the back of it. You got to get all this bent thing out, the glass element, put soap and water it, and get that done with. The screws are tight, so you're going to be handling them at an angle is what you're going to be doing. But keep in mind with these viewers, if you're going to use one of these viewers, you have to clean these things and just like this before you use it, because also films, if you have any found footage, that movie film is going to be dirty and you'll have to first clean that. And believe it or not, I even have a video on that. Okay. Okay, I'm having a bit of a problem here with these old screws, and I've had this issue before in cameras as well. Even though I use the right size screwdriver, different screwdrivers, what happens is these screws are just so old. They're just chipping off. And I don't want that. So what I can do is I've started carefully loosening these holders that hold in this glass element, okay? And little by little, just take it easy and slide this thing out like this. You have to be really careful in loosening these things up here, or you can just snap this glass. Alright? It's not easy to do. So if you want to get into low budget filmmaking, experimental, and you want to do it the old-fashioned way like me, this is what you have to do first. You have to clean these things up and repair what you're going to repair. Okay, so that's that. There we go. And this is going to be cleaned with soap and water. Alright, into the soap and water it goes. We'll have to deal with that rust in there. That's exactly what we're going to deal with. Always a problem in glass elements. Okay, as you can see, I've got it cleaned. Both sides, the shiny side and the dull side. The chip, by the way, was there already. Not that it really makes a difference hiding up under there. I got the rust off as best that I could. Alright. So there we go. Next, we have another glass element. Okay, so on this glass element housing for the screws right here, all I can do right now is just to add just a little bit of weapons oil on top of that. in hopes it's going to start penetrating and doing something that was a bit much. Alright, so let that sit for a while. I'll deal with rust. You should believe there's one part, one of them. Yeah, here's one right here. I started moving around. This one, right here at the end of my pencil eraser. There. So it started moving around right there, and that's good news. Just got to get the stuff off, you know. There's another one. Alright. Okay, so next I've got to remove this mirror right here. So I've got to flip this up. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start to remove these two screws, but I'll take my hand on the other side and hold the mirror because it's going to start to fall out. Okay, so I have movement here easily on this screw. Next. Okay. Movement easily on this screw. I can feel the mirror on the inside and my hand just falling off, so I'm supporting it, of course. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and flip it up. Go ahead and remove the mirror. There you go. Okay, everything else up inside of here looks fine. Here for the lamp, the end of my pencil eraser. These gears, although I can, up here at the top of the frame, although I can add a bit of lubrication. I don't see any more rust or anything like that. And the mirrors here look good. 1, 2. Alright. So there's no point in going down there and messing with anything and potentially causing extra issues. Alright. Okay, so here's the mirror. Here's the back of the plate. The mirror is glued in here. So we're going to leave it at that and just clean this up. Alright. For right now, if I can find my spot, I have some soap and water on the cloth, and I'm just going to go across it just like anyone else would do. Rub all those glue pieces out. You don't want to try to remove this mirror. You can try it with a hairdryer if you want to, in case yours is damaged. Just heat it on the back right here. If your mirror is damaged, heat it on the back right here to work off the glue. Then take this mirror, upon that you can get it removed in one piece, or just go ahead, of course, and measure it as it is without removing it first, and have your new piece of mirror cut. Okay, I just wanted to show you as I'm putting this unit back together. I did paint these. little clasps right here. Slide the glass in slowly but surely. Get that fitted in there, and then I'll tighten the screws. Sand that stuff down. Metals like that, make sure you paint it, because otherwise it will rust on you. And so that's it with this viewer editor, a vintage one, of course. So I've just taken it apart, cleaned it, and it's all good. So we got clean glass up here in the viewer. And again, to those of you who don't know, you do not extend these. I mean, you do extend these, but this is not a projector. So you don't put the movie on there and wind it really fast and watch it through the screen. This is for viewing, for editing, which is why it has a little editor slice and paste right here, either with glue, the particular tape for the 8mm, single 8, you know, the Super 8, stuff like that. Okay? And that's it. Get it all cleaned up and it's good and ready to go. I just got to go to the motorcycle shop and get me another light bulb. Other than that, that's it. And one more thing. And remember, as always, do subscribe. Later.